What do grandparents, kids, veterans, teachers, scientists, people in recovery, and others around the world who have read the stories of the Tale of the Raccoon Trilogy all have in common? They all have fallen in love with these stories, and much to their astonishment have found the most surprising truths about themselves. How can a book written for children connect with people of all ages and backgrounds? The answer is simple. The stories are about our shared humanity. They describe what we all have in common and remind us that we are not alone. Laughter, hunger, joy, disappointment, family, hope, friendship, heartache, and last but not least, getting knocked down by life, rising up, and getting back in the game. A good story provides comfort because it fulfills the need to believe that there are people in this world who care and understand. A good story has that kind of power. The stories of the Tale of the Raccoon Trilogy teach a lesson about drug abuse and the loss of free will. They can give you a lift when you need it the most. They will inspire you to change your way of thinking and set you on a new path. Let's listen to what some readers have to say about the trilogy and its message.
I started an after-school club at my high school based on the books. This book is great. It's like no other book that we've ever read. We really connected over the book, and we could all relate to the problems that the characters faced. The book really brought us together. We started to open up about the people we knew and the conflicts we have in our lives. We all got something out of the book and related to it in our own way. By the end of the trilogy, we were all pulling for the raccoon, hoping that he would get through the tough times. On top of that, we even got a science lesson about sign tracking. It was something that we'd never even heard of before. The problem is that when we tell the other kids to read the book, they just don't get it. The kids don't understand how a book about raccoons makes us feel better. They have to read it themselves. If they give it a chance, they find out that it's a great read.
Based on what I've experienced, there's no doubt in my mind that this is a much better way to teach kids about addiction. I'm just like the raccoon character in the story. I too thought that I could quit whenever I set my mind to it, but I was wrong. I was blindsided by addiction. Drug abuse took over my life. It was hard to quit and even harder not to relapse. I learned from this book how powerful triggers can be and why the impulse to use drugs can be unstoppable. This book gave me confidence in myself and made me believe that I could do better. The message may sound simple, but it's really not so simple. If you want to stay off drugs, it's best to stay away from everything that reminds you of drugs. When my nephew showed me the books and told me that I would love them, I thought he was out of his mind. He was trying real hard to convince me to read all 3 books because there's a character in there who is a wounded warrior. He kept telling me that this was more than just a kid's book. It's about blindness and a lot of other stuff. I'm his uncle and I'm a decorated combat veteran. I told him, if you think I'm going to read a kid's book with a raccoon on the cover, then you don't know me. But the truth is that I lost friends in war and had brothers blinded and maimed, and so knowing that the book is about a blind warrior made me mildly curious. I'm up for anything that can help veterans, so I decided to give it a chance. I soon found out that my nephew got it right when he said that I would love the book, a book with a raccoon on the cover, no less. I was floored by these 3 books. I laughed, I cried, I remembered. Believe it or not, I think the book could do a lot to help veterans who know what it's like to suffer devastating wounds. For years, I was a mess, until I read this book. This is how addiction happens. This is how I became a drug addict. Finally, after years of asking myself, how did this happen to me? A light goes off in my head. Read this story. See if you can relate to the raccoon's journey.
You should take a look at this. You might get something out of it.
The Tale of the Raccoon Trilogy was developed by researchers at Rutgers University. It is their goal to provide a different approach to the prevention of drug abuse. The success of this project will be measured by how many people are helped by the books. This is the ultimate reward. Do you want to see yourself and your world in a whole new light? Can reading the stories bring a change in how you relate to others? There is only one way to find out. Why not let the stories help you sleep better tonight? Join the many people who have been informed, entertained, and inspired by the tale of the Raccoon Trilogy. Make a fresh start by turning the first page today.